In this video, I'm going to show you how to add API documentation to a Python package. In the previous videos, I have already shown you how to add, for example, functions and modules to a package. And so let's take a look at the package template that we have been building and also the documentation website. You can click the link here, geodemo.geospatial.org. And so this is right now just the template. We haven't really added any much yet to the documentation, but today in this video I'm going to show you how to add to the API reference. So essentially we have developed some functions or classes and variables to the package, and we want actually to show up in here. If you click, for example, each module, we are supposed to have detailed documentation for each one. Right now we haven't added yet, so this is right now just empty. But if you want to see some example, you can go to the gmap.org, take a look at the other package that I developed. And if you click here on the left side, API reference, right? So here you will see a bunch of modules, and for each one correlates to one module in the package. And if you click, for example, gmap module on the right here, you should be able to see a list of all the functions that I added to the package. If you click any function on the left here, you should be able to see the function, for example, the definition, the description for the function, and also parameters. So each parameter, you're going to have a list, depends on how many parameters you have. You are going to see a list of parameters beneath this table. Also, you can see the source code. So if you click here, upper right here, the arrow from this one, you should be able to see the source code for each function. Similarly, right, for the other function, you can also see the parameters, description, and the list of parameters, also the source code. So this is very useful if users are interested in looking into more about the package, the source code behind, and this would be nice. Also, once you build up your API documentation, user can also search from the search bar in here. So for example, I can just type, for example, 8. Once you type any keywords, it will auto show you a list of available functions that starting with the keyword. For example, add, I can say maybe add layer if it comes anything. So add layer, control, add layer. Also, it will search all the examples. So some of those are within the Jupyter Notebook example. So this is pretty nice, and this is what we are trying to achieve here in this video. And let's go back right now to this one. If you see here, right now we only have one module and it's empty. But in the last video, I showed you how to add a module to a package. And so right now, the package, we actually have two modules. If you go to the GitHub repo on the Geo demo inside, now you should be able to see at least two modules, right? The main module, Geo demo, and also the utilities. So we added one function last time, and so this is what we are trying to do, actually, to have these two modules showing up here on the API documentation website. Okay, so next, let's get back to here. And so this is the repo within my computer, and we are going to open using Visual Studio Code. Just right click anywhere and then open. Once you are here, we are going to add some so-called doc strings, so documentation strings to each function and each package. So all you need to do is to install an extension. I already showed you the installing the extension, I think, in the first video, but just in case if you have not installed this one yet, the extension name is called Python Docstring generator. You can just simply search, for example, doc docstring, and use the first one here, Python Docstring. If you have not installed this one, just click install, and then you should be able to use this one. It's very simple and easy to use. It's going to save you tons of time, especially if you are developing some package for production use. If you want other people to use it, adding the documentation is a must. Okay, so otherwise people just need to just guess like what each parameter mean, what's the proper format they need to pass in. So if you have this one, it's much easier. Also, if you can look at the animation here, it's very easy to use. Just right click and you'll be able to add those documentation. So next, once you add this, let's get back to here to the Python package, and we're going to look into the two modules that we use. So under the package name and then the name of the package, the directory, Then so here we have two modules, right? So let's look at the first one here, geodemo.py. And so this one right now we only have a couple of functions, not very complicated, but we're going to add documentation to this one. So the first one here, you will notice it's using the triple double quotes. So this is docstring. It can be triple double quotes or it can be triple single quotes. It doesn't matter. So in this case, in this example, we're going to use consistently the triple double quotes. If you notice here, this is the main module, right? And also, if you go back to the documentation website, actually this one actually comes up here, and anything that within the triple double quotes is going to show up here on the web page. And if you want, you can have a more detailed description. For example, you can say main module for the Geo demo package. You can have something a little bit more if you want, but this is just right now it's just a simple description. And then within each function and each class, you can actually have more detailed information. For example, what you need to do is to go to any class or any function you want to add documentation, and then at the end put your cursor and then hit enter. Once you hit enter, it goes to the next line, and then right click. So from here you should be able to select this one, generate docstring. If you install the extension, you will see this one. If you haven't installed, you won't see this one. So you can also use the keyboard shortcut Control-Shift+2. So you can just right click. So generate docstring. Pay attention. Once you click this one, you're going to see this one. So it's pretty nice, and you can use the tab keyboard to navigate through, right? So it's going to, let me do it one more time. You can only do it once. So once you finish, it's gone. So let me do it one more time. Generate docstring, and you can start doing typing. For example, summary. So this is, for example, this map class inherits the IPy leaflet map class. And then period. So you will see this it's being highlighted like you have a gray background, and once you finish, you can just hit tab to go to the next one. So tab. So in here you will see within the parentheses is the type. So what kind of data type of this one? So this one you can just type, for example, IPy leaflet IPy leaflet dot map. Okay, so this is, it belongs to because it inherits the IPy leaflet map class. So any properties or functions associated with the IPy leaflet, you can still use that. And then the description, okay, you can say on IPy leaflet map, something like that. Okay, so simple and easy, right? Arguments. So within this one, it depends on how many parameters you have in there. You can have arguments, you can have parentheses, you can. So this one right now, because you only have one, you don't really see many in here. But just let you know, everything is automatic. So it's very easy just to fill in the content. Next, let me show you the other one. You'll be more descriptive. So for example, this is the add Geo Json function, right? We have self, we have also have a couple of parameters. We also have something optional. So this one, if you don't have an equal to something, it's a required parameter, a required argument. If it is equal to something, that means it's optional. So once again, put your cursor and then enter, and then right click. So from here, generate docstring. Similarly, this one has a little bit more information, right? So the triple quotes, and then the description, the summary, and then arguments, right? So in here we have 3 arguments. The first one is in GeoJSON, and then the style, also the layer. Keep that in mind. If it is optional, within the parentheses, you are going to see the square brackets type. You want to change this one, but you also have this one optional. And at the end here, it's also going to automatically generate this one default to something. So we're going to, depends on what you put in here, it's going to default. So you're going to save you some time. Also the file, not file, right? So if you have any error, raise, for example, type error, file, not file error, this can also be captured. So pretty nice. So next we can just say, okay, add Geo Json, you can uppercase Geo Json file to the map. Okay, and then just hit tab. It will go to the next one. So in JSON, this is the file path. So the type should be a string str, and then hit tab again. Okay, the input geo input the file path to the input geo JSON. Okay, and then hit tab again. Style. So the style. This one is a dictionary. So you can do dict lowercase, and then hit tab again. Okay, the style for the Geo JSON layer, and then hit tab again. So the layer name is str. That's right, and you will see the layer name for the Geo JSON layer. Okay, and then go to the next one. File not found error. So the error, it means like if the provided file path does not exist. It's up to you. Okay, the description is what you want to provide to the user when they hit Shift tab on your keyboard to bring up the function definition, and this is something that is going to be shown, and the more information that you provide, the better. Also, the type error comes from here. Which one? Okay, so type error, the input GeoJSON must be a type of str or dictionary. So okay, if the input GeoJSON is not a string or dict, something like that. Okay, Control S. So now we have one function. This is right now complete, and it also depends on whether or not you have a return argument. Right now we only have the arguments and raise error, because this one does not return anything. You won't see this one, but next, let's go to the next function here is the shape to GeoJSON, right? So this one indeed have a return arguments in here, so you might want to have the return argument. Similarly, I'm going to add this one and then generate docstring. Okay, so you will see this one here. We indeed have the return argument, so it's going to return a GeoJSON if we choose to. So this one, I say okay, converts a swap file to GeoJSON. Okay, and then hit tab. So the input shape file should be an str string, right? And this is the file path to the input shape file. Tab again, output GeoJSON. So if you provide, again, this is going to be a string str, and then the file path to the output GeoJSON, and then the file not found error. This means if the input swap file does not exist. Okay, and then hit tab return. So what we are going to return, if there's a GeoJSON, it's going to return as basically it will be a dictionary. Okay, so the dictionary of the GeoJSON. Okay, and then Control H. So we are almost done. You can provide as much information as you need. And so let's see what else. Also this one, right now we have the other one here, add swap file. So I'm going to right click, generate docstring, and this one will be add a swap file layer to the map. And then the next one, again, it will be str. It will be the file path to the input shape file, and then hit tab. Style, it will be dictionary again. You can copy from the previous one if you need, but I'm just going to finish that style. Okay, and then next one, layer name str, and the layer name for the swap file layer. Okay, and then Control S. Almost done. So this one right now we have finished all the documentation for this module, and we're going to look at the next one is the utilities module. This one, because we copy from the other package and we already have this one, so if we see from this one, generate a random string of fixed length and also the arguments. And so this is pretty much the same, like you can just right click, and then if you need to join it, you can do that as well. Once we have all the documentations for the package, then we need to basically preview. So let's preview the website, and what you need to do is to open the terminal from here. So click and then switch to terminal. From here you're going to conda activate. So our conda environment is called demo, and then demo. Once you on the left side here, you should see this one. That means right now we are in the demo conda environment. Then you can just type mk docs. Okay, so hit enter. It should go ahead to build the documentation, and then we can preview the website before you push things to the map. Okay, so you also going to see some errors in here and warning. So mk.string geodemo.map no type annotation for parameter ipylib. So if you go back to this one here, so this is the type. It doesn't show up. Anyway, so this one actually is just an input argument. You can ignore this one for now, and I'm just going to clip it here. Control. Look at this one, API documentation. If you click, so you see now we have this actually coming up. Earlier we only have like the main module, that's it. But now we have the class. We also have the function, right? And these two functions belong to the map class. You will see that they are being indented. But we also have the other function that's outside the map class. And the other nice thing you can see it is on the upper right corner here, to the right of the function, you will see this one. This is basically the URL to this one. So the permanent link. If you click this one, and then from here you can send this one to anyone. But right now this is on a local computer. Later when we push to GitHub, after it's being deployed, you can send this one, copy the link. It'll be useful because if you are trying to point someone to a specific function, then you can just click, for example, click this one. It's going to update the URL, and the URL is unique. So anyone click the link, they will be able to come to this function. Let me click this one again. The description, right? The parameters, and also the exceptions, also the returns. So now we have very comprehensive documentation for the function. You can also click this one. You'll be able to see the source code. So this is exactly what the same as what I showed you earlier, but because the Gmap has a lot more functions, so you see a lot more. But the general procedures to add documentation is the same. So all you need to do is just to generate the docstring, and then you can preview on your computer. So next, we're going to add another module. If you notice in here right now, the package has 2, but it only shows up 1 in here. So because it's not automatic, you need to add that by yourself. So what you need to do is go back to the package, and then go to the docs folder. From here, you should be able to see, for example, GeoDemo. Okay, so each module you will need a markdown. Okay, so right now because only have 1, we have the other one called utilities, but it's not in here. So what we need to do, you can either copy this one if you want, or maybe you can just directly create a new one. So make sure that the name is the same as the module. So what we are going to do here, right click the docs folder, and then new file. Just choose the name utils.md. Okay, so once you create this one, and inside the content, you can look at the geodemo, the content. So all you need to do is simply copy this, and then go to this one, paste. So this is what you need to change, right? So the first one here, geodemo module, you want to change to the name of your package, the module. So utils, and also geodemo doc. So utils. So these are the 2 things you need to change. So make sure they're consistent, because this is the package and this is the module within the package. And So this one is what's going to show up here on the website. If you come back to this one again, right, so it's going to have another list under here. Besides that, you also need to change the mkdocs YML because right now we add a markdown, but it's not automatic added to the website. So click this one, mkdocs, and then come to here, the navigation. So this is where all the API documentation is listed, and you can come to here, API reference, select this one, and then hit enter. Once you enter, you can type a hyphen, so basically another item, and then utils utilities module, and then colon. Okay, so we need to utils.empty, control S, that's it. So at the bottom here, you will see that the website is being rebuilt, and so once it's finished, then we should be able to see this one on the website. So let's go back to the website, and we might need to refresh. Oh, it might still be building, so we might need to wait for a couple of seconds before it's finished. And let me come back to here one more time. Okay, so once you refresh, now we have the utilities module showing up, and so this one only has one function, but you should be able to see this one here, and then click this one. So once you have this module, we can test it using the search function, see if we can find it, right? So we have a couple of functions, for example, random string. So if you type random, it's going to find the function under the utilities module, and then you can click, you'll be able to find this one, and you can look at the source code, right? So we also have some of the functions, for example, swap file to GeoJSON, right? You just type SHP. You might also be just type swap file, add swap file, something like that. So any functions, any notebook that contains the keyword, you are able to actually find this one. So swap file to GeoJSON, and then come to here, copy, and then you can send the link to anyone. Okay, so this is how easy it is to build the API documentation. Once you add the module, later if I add another function, it will be automatic, so you don't need to redo this one again. So all you need to do is to continue to add function to your module, and so all the API documentation is going to build automatically and add it to the function. But if you add another new module, for example, right click here, if you add another Python module, then you need to repeat the process. You need to add the markdown to here, to this documentation folder, and then also edit the mkdocs YML, and you're going to add another module here. So depends on how many modules you're going to have. You can use, when you have many, you might want to order them alphabetically, right? So just like what I did for the Gmap package. So if you come back to here, right? So this one here, I have a bunch of modules, right? So they are all being ordered alphabetically from B, C, like D, E, G, L, M, T, right? So and if you want, you can go to the GitHub repository. You can go to doc.yml. You can take a look at the example. So this is how I built the package. And so once you have these modules added, you just need to continue to add functions. You no longer you don't need to modify this again. But I have a lot more notebook examples in here. So almost 100 examples. But the procedure is the same. It's more important that you know how to build the documentation, and once you get used to it, you can just let it GitHub deploy automatically. Okay, so now we have tested the package on our local computer and also built the API documentation. Next, we're going to push this one to GitHub. So first, let me put your cursor here in the terminal, and then Control-C to stop the server. So once it's being stopped, the website will no longer work. But we're going to commit the changes to GitHub. So all you need to do, go to the left side here, click this one, and then I can say add edit modules to docs, and then just Control Enter. It should commit the changes, and then 3 dots, push. So it should automatically push all the changes to GitHub. And let me go back to the repository and click this one. You should navigate to the GitHub repository, and you see from, you just need to click this one. So right now it's kind of a brown color, yellow color. That means it's being built. So once it's finished, you should be able to see go to the website to see the most updated one. Then we should have all the modules, and function API documentation added to the website, but it might take a couple minutes, and I'm going to pause the video and then come back later. Okay, so now the check mark has turned green, so that means everything has been deployed successfully. And what we need to do is to check out the website, click the URL, and from here now you should be able to see this too. And this is exactly what we are trying to achieve, right? So you have all the functions right now showing up here on the website. You can click going through. You can click to see the source code, and you can also click the utilities module. And from here also have the notebook, right? So these are some of the notebook that we added in the previous video. If you click the test utilities, upper right corner, you should be able to click this one, and then users should be able to download this one to their computer. So this is basically a prototype template. You have the documentation, you have Markdown, you also have the function definition, API, so-called API reference. That means user can use them, or once they install in a computer, they can use them, and you can click all the examples, right? So next, I'm going to quickly show you if we utilize this, we have those documentation, what's going to be showing up here when you use the Jupyter notebook. So I'm going to type conda activate demo, and then Jupyter notebook, hit enter. It's open the Jupyter notebook. Then you can navigate to your package and examples. So for example, test utilities, right? So if you click this one and let's import this and import this. Once you have this, right now assume that okay, we don't really have this one yet, but when the user type add something, for example, user dot add, and then just hit tab, you should be able to see, for example, this one add Geo Json, or maybe random string, right? And or this one we need to import the other one, but maybe add Geo Json and then parentheses. So shift tab on your keyboard to bring up the documentation. So m.add.json, right? So if you click the plus mark here, you should be able to see the description. So this is what we added earlier. Now you have the arguments, you have the docstring documentation, and each argument, and also the error that is going to raise. So this is pretty useful because user can just read the description, and then if they need more information, they can find it from here. But especially if your function has a lot of parameters, sometimes the user might have no idea what to provide. So it's always important to add documentation, and this is how to make your package more professional rather than something like not many ones are going to use, because if you don't provide documentation, people have to guess like what to provide. And it's usually better to have the complete documentation, comprehensive, and also provide notebook examples. So in that way, others can just follow the example and then to customize the source code, and then change that to method to adapt to their application. Similarly in here, you can also import, right? And then you can select this one. So all you need to do is put your cursor inside and then shift tab. You should be able to bring up this, and this is similar to what we did earlier when we add the documentation. Okay, so that's all for this video, and I hope that you can use the techniques that we introduced in this video to polish your Python package and add documentation. So and in that way, you have a more comprehensive package that can be useful for anyone that would like to use. Okay, so that's all for this video. Hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.